Hello everyone, welcome to my Session 6 teaching memo. The course is now half over. Yay! We just completed Session 6. I hope you all got to enjoy the warm moon last night. Spring is only 7 days away. Yet the forecast is for a major snowstorm tomorrow. Truro College has already canceled classes. Dr. Laura's school is already closed. We're hunkering down. We went to, I knew something was up when Dr. Laura and I went to BJ's last night, and the place was mobbed. As Dr. Laura says, you just can't get enough toilet paper for a snowstorm. March Madness has begun, although I'm not a big basketball fan. If you are, I wish you the best of luck with your bracketology. Session 6, there was no formal interaction this week. Therefore, I can't comment on any misconceptions or great posts. You should be filling out your vocabulary in your own words. I remind you of this every week. And come the last day of this course, people will be panicking because they haven't been doing it. There were many vocabulary words in the last two presentations, and there will be some coming up. Remember, it's not due until the last session, at which time you will upload it as a Word document. Validity is an important topic in test construction, as you can see from Popham's Chapter 4 and Cohen and Spencer's Chapter 5 and my presentation. Remember, if your test has validity, and I'm talking about content-related validity, then you needn't be concerned about reliability. That doesn't mean you shouldn't pay attention to the mistakes that can cause a test to be unreliable, such as poorly worded questions, formatting issues, not enough time to take the test, etc., etc. If your tests correctly align with your learning targets and there are enough questions for each that allows you to make valid inferences about what your students have mastered, then you have a good handle on content-related validity. Remember, as Popham says, it's not the test that's valid, but it's the inferences you can make from the results of that test. The other type of validity that you may encounter is predictive validity, and whether a test can accurately foretell how a student will do in the future. A lot of screening tests are assessed for predictive validity, and of course the SATs and ACTs claim to have predictive validity, but we found out that the SATs only account for about 25% of a person's success, and that is only in the first year of college. You are more likely to encounter this type, as I mentioned, when we talk about kindergarten and screening assessments and predicting success of a child in kindergarten. Also, remember that universal screening is a big part of response to intervention. Session 7, this week's reading and presentation topic are on absence of bias. If there is any of the three legs of the test creation triangle, the three legs, it's the term bias. And it's not synonymous with fairness. Simply put, there are only two ways a test can be biased, which you're going to discover this week. You also discover how you, as a classroom teacher, can ensure that your tests are not biased, or at least you can try to account for bias. This week, you'll also finish the first draft of your selected response test. 3 people have already done that in my 21 section. Please use the resources in Section 6 and Session 7 course materials, handouts to guide you. There are a lot of things there to help you. Also take note of the verbs. I've provided you with verbs for your learning targets. Avoid these words: appreciate, cover, realize, be aware of, familiarize, study, become acquainted with, gain knowledge of, understand, that's the big one, or know, or learn. You know, students will learn, students will understand. Those are vague, they're not specific and measurable, so avoid those, please. You'll also find that formatting, especially for the matching section, is a big hurdle to overcome, which can be minimized if you watch my test creation video. And That video is throughout the Blackboard. It's in course materials. It's on the discussion board itself. It's in this week's presentation. So it's all, you can find it in course materials, all materials videos. So here are the steps that you need to take in the test creation process. 1, become familiar with the EdTPA special education. Your test has to be on the EdTPA special education. You don't know how many people, how many times someone will submit a test on some subject that I've never heard of. Your test has to be on the EdTPA special education. You need to create 4 or 5 learning targets that are specific and measurable and have to do with the EdTPA. You're going to then write 20 to 25 questions that align with your learning targets. And I talk about that in my video, how to code them so I can see which test, and you can see which questions go with which learning target. You need a minimum of 6 matching and at least 3 multiple choice, 3 true false, 3 fill in the blanks. Notice there are no extended response questions in a selected response tests. So please don't include those. Once you complete your first draft, you're going to upload it into the initial selected response submission, and you'll notice I'm going to use my 21 group. You'll see that this is Courtney. She attached it as a Word document. Now what I'll do is I'll download that and I'll make comments right on your Word document. Then I am going to attach it to the next discussion board, just as you will. This selected response, answers, and feedback, you're going to attach your test with answers for the people in your group that I haven't opened that yet, and you're going to give them feedback, and I've listed some ways to give feedback here. So that's what you're going to do next week. This week you're going to attach your first draft. I will be giving you feedback, and I will be posting it in this discussion board next week. So that's what I'm going to be giving you feedback on your document. You will just give feedback. You'll post the document with your answers. You'll give feedback in a reply, a text box. So that's what you'll be doing next week. Okay. It's very important that you watch my test creation video, as I mentioned again. In my test creation video, I mentioned what I thought were the big ideas. I've changed my opinion after being trained in the nuances of the EdTPA. I was trained to grade the math EdTPA, elementary math EdTPA. The major concepts are not how many videos you need to submit and other details that you'll know before you even begin the process. So that stuff you're going to know. What you need to focus on are the differences between a score of 2 and a 3 and a difference between a score of 3 and 4 on the rubrics. I wouldn't worry about a score of 5. Very seldom do the graders give a 5 to any prospective teacher. So focus on those two. I would focus on those 2 areas. Of course, you're going to see some of the exemplars that don't have reasoning questions and don't focus on the rubrics, and that's okay. You're just going to lose if you don't have reasoning questions. You're going to lose points in the rubric. Selected response tests are a good match for assessing knowledge and reasoning targets, yet most teachers and my students in this course only use them for knowledge mastery. That is why one part of the rubric question type requires a mixture of reasoning and knowledge questions. To help you in this area, I have The Chapaway, Chapui et al., page 139, and Making the Most Out of Multiple Choice by Brookhart. Those are both resources that will help you write reasoning questions. So along with your group mates, I will be giving you extensive feedback on your first draft. You will use these comments to improve your test, which you will again upload in a future discussion board to a different group. You will take it. So keep notes on this process. I mentioned that last week, as you will need to reflect on this process in your 3-part analytic summary, which you will complete at the end of the course. Also, you have a true-false quiz this session, and I've provided a hard copy in course materials. Of course, you only get one chance to take a multiple choice quiz. So take it the first time as a hard copy, and then go into the quiz discussion board with ones you think you may have a problem with. And then go back and take it again, take it for real the second time. So that's how you can use the quiz discussion board this time. So that's it. Hunker down for the storm. Make sure you get all your toilet paper and your wine if you are a wine drinker. Dr. Laura pointed out a map on Facebook of the different zones of how much snow we're going to get, and one was like a 10 wine zone, and one was like a 3 wine zone, depending on how much wine you needed to buy if you lived in that snow belt zone. So go out and get your wine or your toilet paper or both. And I'll talk to you again in 1 week.